Welcome back to the EHS Roundtable. My name is Joseph Lyons, and today we're going to be talking about some big OSHA updates for 2025. So, what's changing? What used to be? How is it going to affect industries like construction, manufacturing, and beyond? So, OSHA updates might sound dry, but trust me, these changes cost companies thousands, and sometimes they save lives. So, let's break it down and let's dive into it. All right, so jumping into update number one, penalties are going to be going up this year, or they have gone up this year. So the maximum fine for a serious OSHA violation used to be 15,625, where a willful or repeated violation used to be topped out at 156,000. Around their ballpark. As of now, since January 2025, those numbers jumped to 16,550, and I think the max tap out is going to be 165,500. So, while it might not sound like such a huge jump, huge leap, if these, if OSHA finds multiple violations, fines can stack up really, really fast. And I think the message is clear here. Invest before so you don't have to pay later. If you're thinking about a $700 training for your team, and do it, invest into it, because that could lead to $165,000 worth of penalties. So something to think about. So update number two: PPE must actually fit. So in construction, employees used to be able to just provide PPE, and the rules didn't say anything about whether or not it had to fit properly. While it might not it might seem like common sense, most of the time, if it's not written down, unfortunately, there's people who would take advantage of that. So starting January 13, 2025, PPE in construction must fit each worker correctly. And this kind of closes the gap, especially for, women in the industry or for smaller framed workers. And, ill-fitting PPE is almost the same as, wearing no PPE at all. So I am a huge fan of this update. So jumping into another update for small business penalty relief. So before, penalties reduction up to 75% only applied to businesses with 10 or fewer employees. Now that same relief is extended to businesses with up to 25 workers. Plus, companies that fix hazards immediately get another 15% knocked off citations. So this is like OSHA kind of acknowledging that some small businesses need to have that that breathing room or that little relief. It's not a free pass, but it's an incentive to fix problems fast, honestly. So going into another update, the general duty clause. So before, OSHA used to use this clause as a kind of like a catch-all to cite employees, when a serious hazard wasn't covered by a specific standard. That's how they've gone after issues like extreme heat, workplace violence, ergonomics. So now it's proposed that OSHA would have, a much tighter limits on how they can use the general duty clause. That means, honestly, if there isn't standards written for something like heat stress, or it could be almost impossible for OSHA to issue a citation for this kind of thing. So, hazards might slip through the cracks with this. I'm not too sure. I really want to read up more about this, and follow where this goes and see what happens. So that's it for updates today. Thank you for tuning into the EHS Roundtable. I'm super excited about this channel that I started. I was kind of hesitant a little bit, but the more I do it, the more I realize I'm having fun. And this is something that I've kind of been thinking about for a little while. When I first got into safety, it's not something that I really thought I'd be doing. And, now that I'm in it, I've been doing it for just a few years now. And, this is something that I love, like something I wake up every single day, and, I'm excited to go to work, and I'm excited to talk to people, and I'm excited to try to figure things out and, work with all the, employees, managers, project engineers. And it's something that's just, yeah, I'm so passionate about it, and I have this opportunity to speak to other people who are also passionate about it as well, and I'm just excited to see where this goes. So thank you for tuning in.